Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Dreams Podcast. It's my man, Scott Cloman, my co host, the hostess with the mostest, and my name is Jackie Mitchell, man. We are back with another weekly edition of Dreams Podcast. And first off, I just want to say, Scott, man, how you doing? How's everything with you, my man?
Man, hey man, I appreciate the intro. And hey man, I'm blessed, man. Just got back from Kelowna, British Columbia. For all you people in the US aren't familiar with that, it's a beautiful place. They call it the kind of a mini California, so to speak. It's hit a couple of wineries for the first time. And man, it was a blast. So man, I'm riding high.
Good deal, man. Good deal. That's
Yeah.
his thing. I hope you guys had a great time. I saw some of your posts. They're like
hmm
everybody's having a good time, eating some some grapes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Drinking a
yeah,
few
yeah,
grapes here and there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So hopefully
yeah.
everybody had a good time, man. But
Mhm.
this edition, man, is somewhat of a special edition for us. Scott, we are honestly we're 10 shows in. We haven't aired everything, but for you and I, we felt like this was a midpoint to
hmm
kind of reflect, and reflect on what
hmm
the people we've interviewed, our growth in this process, our maturation in this process, but also just reflecting on some of the things our guests have shared with us, things we've shared with our guests, and also helping us see, hey, how can these particular nuggets help us along the way? So, like I said, it's a show of reflection. It's a show of gratitude, of course, grace. So, man, from that, how give your thoughts on what you think dreams has been for these last couple of weeks.
Man, it's been absolutely amazing. Um, it's far exceeded my expectations. I think coming into this, I had never done anything like this before. You have, and like we spoke, I think your vision was uh, a little bit brighter and bigger because I really didn't know what to expect. You knew what we could do, and I definitely believe we're ahead of the curve uh, with the growth we made and the guests we've been able to acquire. Um, and I think people are going to be quite shocked moving forward. The people that we have to come bless our show. So we have, over the next few weeks, uh, some jaw dropping guests, some amazing shows coming, and I think it's I'm excited. I'm excited. If I had to use one word, I'm definitely excited, man. Yeah, man. What's your take on, you know, what's transpired thus far in with Dreams podcast? How you feeling?
I can only reiterate your thoughts, man. I share your same, dialogue because I'll be honest, and I won't take all the credit. I won't allow you to let me take all the credit because what happened was, for those who don't know, we'll tell a little story. I had did a podcast a couple of years ago, me and some colleagues of mine, and I wanted to launch my own. Um, I couldn't find the right person. I mean, you talk to people, it's like, hey, man. And then I just kept a lot of cards close to my chest because everyone doesn't want to see your success. So for basically a year and a half, almost 2 years, I just kind of sat on the idea. I built everything to have it. And when you called me that day, you was like, hey, man, I got an idea. And I was like, what you got? He was like, man, let's do a podcast. If you remember, I started laughing on the phone.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, keep talking. I was like, just keep talking. I was like, you ain't gonna believe this, but keep talking. And then when you
yeah.
shared it with me, we literally said the same thing. You was like, hey man, I gotta find somebody I could possibly do it with, somebody I could trust, somebody who's on the same page. And I was like, Scott, I may have something for us. And
hmm
so for me, man, true, dreams was something that I did think of. Like I said, I've been dealing with dreams. I created dreams since 2013. But
hmm
to have someone like close friend, like I said, I look at you like a brother, man, to go through this journey with me, to have
hmm
the host and the guests that we've had. Like I said, I got one of the best co-hosts. I don't care really what they say. And then with the guests that we've had on the show, I truly believe we're ahead of the curve,
For sure.
so, and like you say, for
Sure.
things to come, it's going to be even more exciting, it's going to be even more
Mhm.
fulfilling, it's going to be even more knowledgeable. But for me, at this point where we are, man, I am grateful, I am determined, and I'm excited. I have
Yeah.
to say the same sentiments as far as excitement goes, and being
Mhm.
able to continue the verbal therapy, whatever this may be for anybody else. Because, like I said, from locker room to reality, it's a huge transition. And from
Mm.
what we're going to speak about today, is going to be a time for us to reflect, with our guests and
Mhm.
with ourselves, man. So for me, I want to share that I am excited. Dreams Podcast is here, hopefully to stay, and
Mhm.
just continue to watch us and grow with us. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, we're definitely here to stay, man. You know, hey, man, show everybody that plaque, man.
Oh
You
man,
ain't got that. Oh, you put it away? Did you put it away?
I didn't put it away. It wasn't. It was a
That what is it?
It's
Certificate. Show
it's
everybody that.
yes, it's the I don't know if they can see it, man. So I didn't want to be, but
So
it's
yeah, my
oh,
my man, my man getting inducted to the Hall of Fame at Southern University.
yeah,
One of the one of the best HBCUs uh, around, and one of the biggest. And so that's congratulations to you, man. That's
thank you.
I mean
Thank
to get in the Hall of Fame at any. I don't care if it's a Pop Warner team, but to
you.
like really, because that mean it's a select few, right? You were the
Absolutely.
best, and so that's some elite company, man. So that's and just to show you how aligned we are, we both wearing the same. We both
Yes,
wearing the blue, the exact same. What's the chances? Hey, and
they
people,
great minds like brother.
we wasn't playing. This wasn't playing, man. So, no, man. But we'll kick it off, man. I mean, the first episode, right? Our first two episodes, obviously, it was just you and I. The first one, we kind of we introduced ourselves to the
Absolutely.
world, right? And coming into this show, like I said, we're going to reflect and just talk about, elaborate on some key nuggets that we took. Because for me, the thing that I didn't expect, it's like therapy. I was thinking about going to pay a therapist, but this is it for me. I
Absolutely.
mean, that saved me $200 an hour. You know,
Put that to something else.
I know, man. So I mean, so episode one, like here again, we're introducing ourselves, and I went back. Listened to every show, and the thing I took away from episode one was that just the perseverance that we both endure and what we showed, and you couldn't tell us no, right?
Right.
You look at, uh, I think that resonates. I would say we've all had the door shut on us, obviously, but you witnessed, me really come out of nowhere and to have a 10-year professional football career where I only had, I mean, I don't even, I think I want to say, I think it was like 15 catches in college, like 3 touchdowns. So I didn't do much in college. And so, people laughed when I said I want to play professional football. And just what we showed, man, and just like I said here again, the perseverance, um, is I'm just really astounded at what we've accomplished, and we really here again, you can attest to this. I think as athletes, especially while we're playing, we don't really realize what we're doing until after it's done, and then after it's done, even sometimes we don't until someone brings it up, and then going back and just listening to us speak, uh, on here again on each episode, I was just impressed with the way we persevered, just through the trials and tribulations. You look at, you went to Miami, and you know you got told no, and I know what you can do. And but you could have very some guys. How many guys we've seen get cut, and then that's it. But guess what? You believed in you, and and you didn't take no for an answer, right? So yeah, man, kudos to you. And like I said, man, we really persevered the storms, and to have some, I think, in successful football careers, right? Not everybody can say they played, you played 7 total in the CFL, have a couple of stints in the NFL. I mean, 10 years total, man. So played around the same time in terms of years, and not everybody can say that, man. And so I think we definitely got to pat ourselves on the back for what we persevered.
I agree, man, and I thank you, man, and I just appreciate I appreciate your words, man, because you're right. Because we went to school together. So I remember that boycott meeting. We were for those who don't know, we were in college, man. We boycotted practice one day. We weren't used to losing. We didn't feel things were going right on the staff as far as people getting in the lineups, proper people being in the proper places. And I learned so much that day. And I got to name a few people. Rob Walker, LG McNeely taught me so much that day. I'll never forget it. Whereas Rob, we going out to practice. Rob said, we're not going to practice. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? He was like, no, we're not going to practice. Coach Rich comes out. He was like, hey, man, what you guys doing? So we're not going to practice today. He said, all right, meet me in the morning at the cafeteria, 6 o'clock. I'm
Mhm.
like, whoa, this is major. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, we're going to stick together on this. We get that morning. And many people laughed at you, Scott. And
Mhm.
people laughed. You was like, Coach, I know I can play Axie DBs. You
Yeah.
know, everybody for those the reason they thought it was funny, and I'm telling
Yeah.
you this straight from my heart. The reason I didn't laugh at you, but
Mhm.
I think people thought it was funny because they didn't know your ability. I
Mhm.
had been working with you. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We worked out together. We did the running. We did all those drills. We did all of that
Mhm.
covering. We was going over to LSU. So a lot of
Mhm.
times the things that we were doing, people didn't see. They
Mm-mm.
didn't see you out there running them stadiums. They didn't see you out there
Mm-mm.
working on them starts. They didn't see you out there running those routes, but they
Mhm.
laughed and you didn't get a
Mhm.
fair shot. So my thing
Mm.
is like I would always be like, and it's funny because the same ones that laughed were a fan
Mhm.
at the game watching you play.
Yep.
So
Yep.
who gets the last laugh on that? And it's not a in your face thing. It's this you never know someone's path. You never know where they're
Mhm.
going. So man, I just applaud you, like you said, the perseverance, because you could have gave up. You could
Mhm.
after college, you could have said, man, I'm done with this. Go get a job. Go start
I
your career.
couldn't.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That passion
Yep.
wouldn't let you though. So it's just
No.
like me. I go to Miami. They released me. I wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. If I'm being honest, I was the only rookie defensive back. Played well, but I made one mistake and I got cut. And the
That's what it
coach and the
is.
GM tells me, you belong here, but we can't keep you. So I'm just like,
Mm.
man. So I go back and finish school. I had 9 hours. I go back, I graduate, I play basketball. I get to go to Canadian Football League. And like you said, just working, man, just working. You and I
Mhm.
shared this story where we had some of my classmates once when I graduated, I was at a job interview. I'm about to
Mhm.
get a job at Chrysler Financial. Tommy Walker,
Oh
you
yeah.
remember T. Walker. So
Yep.
him, he had helped me get a job. I go to Atlanta, I fly to Atlanta. I'm literally in the interview.
Mm.
I kind of got football out of my mind. I was like, man, nobody gonna pick me up. Then my phone rang in the interview, and it was the Raiders. They
Mm.
said we're gonna fly you out. I came back in the interview room and I said, hey, I want to thank y'all for the opportunity, but I gotta go. I gotta go. The Raiders, as I'm going to the airport, the Raiders called me back and say, we're bringing in a vet. We changed our mind.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, oh my God. So I called the
Dang.
guy back about the job. He was like, man, one of the best interviews, but we can't hire you. He told me, go pursue your dream and get it out the system.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And when he said that, I was like, you're absolutely right. So for me, man, like you said, the stumbling blocks, the roadblocks, the hurdles that we, came across early in our
Mhm.
careers.
Mhm.
But I would say also adding to that perseverance is, I mean, just the grind, Scott. Because
Mhm.
it's not easy staying there for no 10 years. It's not easy staying there for no 7 years. I don't care where
Mhm.
you are. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So just the preparation, your body, your mind, your skill set. You going in every year in a different location. If not, different players on the roster, different
Mhm.
guys trying to come in and take your job. And
Mhm.
we was able to hang in there, man. That's
Yeah.
that's what it was about for me. You go in the locker room, you know how training camp is, 100 chairs in there all in the middle of the floor, everything, every day. That DOD, that's dinner on Delta, for those who don't know. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You got to be your best every day. So, as you said, the perseverance, man, I appreciate those words. And I have to agree with you on that, man. So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, man. I mean, the second episode was, I think that was pretty cool, man, because it showed a different side of both of us.
Absolutely.
We talked about maintaining relationships and family and whatnot. And the nugget I took from there was this, that I saw was just like not really a nugget, but just how far we've come, and it
Abs-
embodies everything. And as I reflect, it embodies everything dreams stand for. You got to be disciplined, right? You
Absolutely.
got to sacrifice what you want now for what you're gonna get later. And the thing we all want is respect from our peers. That's what we're
Absolutely.
gonna demand. And you have to educate yourself, right? To continue to grow, you have to continue to educate yourself in different facets. And here again, accountability. You got to be accountable before you can be accountable to anyone else. You got to be accountable to yourself. And here again, back to the maturation, which is growth. You have to continue to grow, which is
Absolutely.
going to lead to success, man. So and that's where I just fell in love. Yeah, when you said dreams, I was like, and you told me what it meant. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Appreciate it.
you had me. I was like, man, and because there's so many in that acronym, man. There's just so many just meanings. You know what I mean? And that word, man, it's
Yeah.
it's 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 just it's powerful. It's powerful. But how far we've come and getting away from the sports part of it. Just I think emotionally, we both
Absolutely.
have grown a great deal emotionally over the years. Me, I would say more so in the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Um, and just to kind of tell a quick story, I was watching. I saw a clip on that Terry Crews, the actor who was an ex NFL player as well, played in White Chicks. I'm sure everybody knows who he is. And he talked about true intimacy. And he said him and his wife had been together, for about 20 years when they were getting ready to split up, and they end up working it out. But he said, I had to tell her everything I had done. And he said, true intimacy is when you can tell that person your truth and still feel safe and they accept you for who you are, good and bad. And when that happens, he said, the sex is 10 times better. That's what caught my attention. I'm like, what? Sex can get 10 times better. So at that point, I realized like I had never, you know what it is. But I don't, yeah, it's yeah. Boy, you know how we gets down, man. But that's it. But at that point, I realized, I had been married for 13, 14 years,
Wow.
and my ex-wife really didn't know who I was. She knew me, but I had never let her in.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? To know
Absolutely.
everything about me.
That's
And
scary.
so that's scary. That's crazy,
Scary. It's
right?
scary.
I
It's
and
scary.
and I think it was possibly me afraid of being hurt.
Hmm.
Um, realize, and that could stem from a number of things, right? Childhood, how we grew up, you know, um, and just keeping that wall up. So knowing that no matter what, if this ever goes south, um, I won't be that hurt. I think that's an aspect of it. And I just honestly, I really didn't even know until I heard him make that statement. I didn't know. And so at that point, I started studying emotional intelligence, intimacy, what it meant. And I was just blown away by the information that I didn't know, how to conduct myself with a woman and in a relationship. I think in our society, people glorify men for, having, you know, all these women, but nobody glorifies a man for treating his woman like a queen, right? And serving her. And I learned, man, that if I serve my partner, then in return, she's going to serve me back. And how can we lose by doing that? You see
You
what I'm
don't.
saying?
You
You
don't.
don't, man. And it's the same thing. I don't want anything from you. I just want to serve you and our friendship. So how can we lose? You see what I'm saying? We can't lose because it's teamwork. Same thing with my partner, a
Absolutely.
romantic partner, and it's the same thing with our partnership,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
it's like, and that's what I've enjoyed. Obviously, one of the things I've really enjoyed, since we've embarked on this endeavor is just our communication. um, and just our teamwork, right? And just you know, complimenting each other. And so yeah, man, it was just like I said, man, how far we've come just emotionally and just
Man, I'm
our
proud of
emotional
you,
intelligence.
man. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm proud of you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because I knew who we were when we were young. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And like you said, it was being at the largest HBCU in the country at the time. Your ratio was 21, maybe 22. Women to men, and the growth, maturity, as you said, the maturation of, like you said, everyone has a past, and some things were better than others. But it's one of the things, like you said, my takeaway is, as you said, from that, when we talk about maintaining relationships, because I was in the same situation. I got married young. I had a child right out of college. I didn't know what I was going to do. That was another reason I had to, boogie on down and try to figure out how to make this money.
Hmm.
Um, but one of the things that I'll share with you is that through my marriage, when I reflect on it, like you said, I can't say in the 20 years I was in that relationship, I was completely open.
Hmm.
Once I sat back and I thought about it, I felt like you know enough about me to understand
Hmm.
me, but
Hmm.
it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things would still trigger me. You say certain things to me. I'm like, what's your angle? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I don't feel there was a true trust factor in that, in the entirety of my previous relationship and marriage. And it took me time to
Hmm.
get out of that because I felt I was communicative. I felt that I was affectionate. I felt that I was doing particular things in there. I was trying to be the best father, best husband, best friend I could be. But I wasn't, because I didn't allow certain things to be done, because I didn't want whatever my vulnerability was, my insecurity was, my, you know, whatever it may be. I was just like, so I'd be like, what's your angle? You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that would make me deflect, but that would also make me put walls up. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? Because I feel like you're doing something to me. And what I had to learn, as you said, being in a relationship now is totally different.
Hmm.
It's totally different. And I am grateful for my partner now, because that allowed me as a man to feel like, man, I can love again. I can be in
Hmm.
a vulnerable space. I can have some peace. I can um,
Hmm.
allow them to see who I am,
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but I had to get to this point of
Hmm.
going through a divorce. I had to get to this point of understanding myself, like you said, the emotional intelligence. I had to become more mature. I had to be more accountable, because in that divorce I became an instant single father. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I'm boom, divorce. It's 4 kids, it's me. I live in the state of Texas, and it was like I didn't have any family here. My family was still back in North Carolina. So one thing that I said, I had to get it together.
Hmm.
So as you
Hmm.
stated, those times was very therapeutic for me, and it was a time where I had to just kind of put my head down and think, and we didn't have a lot of people to call on, and I really didn't call on anybody, because you can't you can't expect anyone to save you. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So unfortunately, that happened, but fortunately, what that made me do is grow up even more, become even more mature, to be even more responsible. Now it's completely, man, I gotta do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. And I had to just puppeteer it. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I was a puppet master, but I'm grateful, because they say, heavy is a crown. And
Hmm.
man, one thing that I'll share with you, and it's funny, I shared this with my significant other, I think it was last week, because I was going through an overwhelming period. And I had to sit down, I had to pray, bro. And I was like, man, I said, I'm built for this. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? God done took me
Hmm.
through way too much. You know what I'm saying? To falter. And I
Yeah.
was like, let me straighten this crown up. Let me straighten this crown up and get on down the street with it, man. So I
Hmm.
applaud you
Hmm.
as well for continuing to straighten your crown day in and day out,
Hmm.
because it ain't easy being black.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And but that's where here again, man, those tough times that we had early on in our life, it prepared you and myself for what's to
Absolutely.
come. And when we have those, because it's just like you related to sports. Once you make a big significant play, which leads me to our next segment, uh which was Manny Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
14-year professional football career, 3 years in the NFL, 11 in the CFL. And I remember he caught a Hail Mary against Saskatchewan with no time left, send the game in overtime. And when he did that, it took his belief to another level.
Absolutely.
For me, it happened in high school. I caught a Hail Mary in a playoff game. And so ever since then, it's like whenever I was in a position to make a play, I just you couldn't tell me I wasn't gonna make a play. And I don't know if you can recall, we were playing Arkansas Pine Bluff. I didn't play the whole game. I'm sitting on the bench. And I'll never get this, man. It's 4th and 15.
Yep.
We're about to lose.
I thought it was 12, but you 4th and 15. I was like 4th and 12, but I remember that.
It was something like something like that. It probably was 4th and 12. And and they put me in the game and threw it to me. A deep out route.
Deep out. I remember.
I remember he was like, Scott, get in. And I was like, huh? I was like, I ain't been in the whole game. This is crazy. So, and then I get in the huddle, and then they call the play. The play is designed to come to me. I'm like, oh, I guess it's showtime, baby. Let's go. I ain't stressing nothing. Let's go. What Randy Moss say? Do a cheetah get up?
Do a cheetah stretch?
Take off. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I remember that, man. Deep out, boom. I was like, thank you, because it was over for us. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, man. And so there's certain things that happen in your life, and your belief goes to another level. And the thing I took from Manny's episode was he has a slogan. He has it on his shirts. Part of his brand is hard work works. At the end of the day, massive action. Action cures everything.
Absolutely.
That's at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely.
We can talk about this. We can talk about this. You can analyze this. Hey, at the end of the day, man, you got to go to work and get it done, no matter what it is.
What Billy Long used to say: everybody got to do work.
Mailman
got to go to work. Doc.
Milkman
got to go to work.
Everybody got to go to work, man. And yeah, no, man, and it's really nowhere else to kind of elaborate on that. It's just, hey, man, massive action. Go to work. Yep. Go to work, man. Put in the work, and let the chips fall where they're gonna fall.
That's
right?
it.
So, yeah, definitely, man.
And with one thing that I appreciate about Manuel, man, is 14 years. He ain't 36, still playing professional ball.
Yeah,
he was like, they had to run me out of here, man. But they gonna have to run me out of here. But
he rolled it till the wheels fell off.
Hey, keep riding it, because the thing about it, because when it's over, it's over. You can't. That football is a young man's game, but it's one also who takes pride in the preparation. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that you've always done, man. The nutrition side of it, the conditioning side of it, the strength side of it. I mean, it was getting the proper rest. Those were things that I don't really think people understand. So you have somebody like Emmanuel Arsenal, who, literally carved his own career by the grace of God. I mean, think about that. No offers. No offers. He had no offers. Somebody saw something in him. If you're 6'4", 6'5", okay, I'm going to come down here to Alcorn University. I remember you telling me about the young man. You know what I'm saying? You called me like, Jackie, man, this. I'm like, all right. Boom. 14-year professional career. From no offers to going to Alcorn, to getting in the CFL, to going to the NFL, to being probably in the Ring of Honor, if not in the CFL Hall of Fame in years to come. And it's just, it's a fabulous career. But like you say, hard work works, man. And for me, when he spoke about showing up, he was like, be ready. When you show up and be ready. And like he said, man, and like we know, is like, think about when we went down to the Senior Bowl. Think about that. We went down to the Senior Bowl, you and I, we ride down there, we boom, we this, and I'm like, man, Scott, man, I need to find somebody. We go over there, you working out. I ended up working out for Kansas City. You see what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow. So once again, hard work works. Had you not been ready, we said we're going to go down here, we're going to run, we're going to do whatever drills. You was like, man, we're going to be in the mix of it. You see what I'm saying?
Be in the mix of it. Yeah.
So the crazy thing about it is just like, had we not been ready,
Well,
opportunity comes, and what happens?
100%, 100%. It makes me think about, obviously there's a episode that we shot where we had some technical difficulties,
Hmm.
um, and hopefully we can possibly work. We might bring them back on. That may be the way to go,
I think
because
that
this guy's story. I'm not going to say his name just in case we bring him back
right.
on, because but it was, you know what I'm talking about. When the way he was able to get drafted, he wasn't even on anyone's radar. Didn't go to the
Wow.
combine, but he went. He put himself in position to go rub elbows. He went, right. He didn't just sit back and say somebody gonna come knock on my door and say, "Hey, here go the NFL." He went. He
Absolutely.
saw that. He sought it out, and he was ready. Like they say, you stay ready. You don't have to get ready. Stay prepared. Which, when our other guests talked about that, who's coming? We got some
Absolutely.
heat coming for you guys. I'm telling you, man.
Gonna be
Yeah,
nice. Gonna be
it's
nice.
gonna be not. Yeah, no, for sure, man. And so yeah, man. I think that's it. Stay prepared. That's why you always got to stay working, stay busy, stay working, man, and treat it like it's your first day, like you don't
Yeah.
have much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, keep working, man. Our next guest, both of these guys were obviously, Emmanuel Arsenal was near and dear to my heart because I got to see this guy grow up, and I'm extremely proud of him for the man he's become. And here again, these guys inspire me, now just because of the people they've become, and the beauty of social media. You can kind of watch what they're doing. I'm like, oh, he just got it in. He just got up under 315 today. I got to go get it in. I'm gonna go to the gym. Right.
Right.
And so it's it's competition. We're always competing in a friendly manner. But Nick Harris, another gentleman from Alexandria, Louisiana, who I had the pleasure to meet when he was in high school, who was a 5th-round draft pick to the Buffalo Bills, obviously. 3-year starter at University of Oklahoma, played in some big time games, just a big time playmaker. And now who's transitioned to acting, played in Ballers, Best Man Holiday. He's shooting a movie right now in Barcelona, Spain, just doing some big things. So for a guy like that to take the time to bless us, with his presence, extremely grateful. Number one, but he said something that'll stay with me forever, is be who you say you are. That hit, because I had never heard anyone say that. Actually, I never heard that statement.
Yeah.
The first, I no, I mean, and I'll explain. I just heard, not in that context, but
Right.
I just think you know what I mean. I probably heard it, but just didn't pay attention.
Right on.
And when I first met him, I kind of shared on that podcast what I told him. The first nugget I shared with him was, look, man, there's a lot of distractions going to come with this. Right? You just, you're getting all these interceptions, you're getting recruited, you're going to, it's, I told him, yeah, like I said, man, it's a two type of athletes, and you can have fun, but don't get addicted to the lifestyle. Keep the main thing the main thing. The reason why everybody love you is because you're good at football, not because you're good in the club.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Go have a good time. But keep the main thing the main thing. That was the first thing I shared with him. And then this nugget, though, he shared with us, though, like I said, be who you say you are. Because the reason why it hit hard, because so many people, I'm going to do this. I'm this person. We portray a lot. So many people portray something that they're not. There's very few genuine people in this world. And that's one of the things I love about you. And I've always said that Jackie is not going to switch up. This is who he is. So if you like him, you like. If you don't like him, then you ain't gonna ever like him.
He gonna never like.
He ain't changing.
I'm not saying
That's who he is, right?
Yeah.
And so I just thought that was powerful, man. It really hit home to just be a better person.
Absolutely.
And just be better and get better, man. And to be a better dad, to be a better partner from my girlfriend now, and just just be better, a better friend, and just be better. And so it was really, like I said, I really love that one. That was a powerful one for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he dropped so many,
Mm-hmm.
be who you say you are, your resume,
Mm-hmm.
he had to be a father, it was a few of them, his my biggest thing that stand out to me is I want to use the word exclusive. That's what I want to
Hmm.
use for Nick. And this is why I
Hmm.
say, after hearing his story, the reason exclusive stands out to me is because for all he went through, not playing, getting
Hmm.
hurt, coming
Hmm.
back to the team, having success going, on to college, Oklahoma, go play, get drafted, 9 surgeries.
Yeah.
He said he had 9 surgeries. From the 9 surgeries, he was like, man, I didn't know what I was going to do. And gets a call and gets into the acting, gets into the mat and gets into the stuff. So the reason I say exclusive is because he had everything against him. His neighborhood, the guys on the street, former, players hating on you. You know,
Hmm.
one thing that was in his favor, he's had a coach that was in his favor to get him out of there. But the reason I say it's exclusive is because now you said it, you rather ball out young, suffer later, suffer first, ball out later, and he's getting to live a lifelong dream. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Being in premiere movies. It's not like he's been in some slouch operations. And the
Hmm.
thing about it, to me, what impresses me even more is his humbleness.
Hmm.
Like he said, I am who I am. And I
Hmm.
appreciate you for sharing that about me because I've changed to the point of maturing and making sure I understand things more for
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
understanding. But if I don't rock
Hmm.
with you, I won't rock with you. And I listen to my intuition. I trust my heart and I trust my gut. And if I come across someone who's just not my type of person, I'm okay with that. I don't have to get ugly with you and blah blah blah. I'm okay. I'm just gonna stay away from you. You know what I'm saying? But if I rock with you, I give you the shirt off my back, anything that I have, man. So for me, like I said, going back to that, it's one of the things that it's just the exclusivity of the consistent work of being who you are. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm adding yours in there too, because he could have easily, like you said, he could have easily went back home and did what? Just like all of us could have.
Yeah.
You said it in that
Hmm.
particular episode. You was like, man, I'm from Compton. Nick, you
Right.
from Louisiana. Jack, you from Winston. Every one of those places have been known as murder capitals of the world. As small, well, not, well, yeah, as small as Compton is, it was the murder
Hmm.
capital of the world. Winston, murder capital of the world. Well, it was in
Hmm.
more so in New Orleans, but not far from where
Yep.
Nick is from. Murder capital of the
Hmm.
world. So the obstacles, the street life that we were, like you said, exposed to, and just be like, you know what? I'm good on that. I'm gonna walk this way. I'm gonna do this my way. Hey man, that's exclusive for me. So that's my word for Nick. And just
Hmm.
getting to where he's at. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
That's
before I move on to the next one. Because yeah, man, it's very easy to fall into that street life because in our where we're from, that's what's glorified,
it's
right?
glorified.
That's where everybody want to be.
Yeah.
The drug dealer, because that's who getting all the pretty girls.
They got
Because
all the
that's why
fly
do
cars, pocket full of
all the
money in the
car,
women.
right? So here again, that goes to the discipline aspect to sacrificing now for what you want later. Because
Absolutely.
we know where that leads to, man. And our next guest, our brother and teammate, Steve Walford, one of the best running backs to ever come out of the state of California. He was a number one back in the nation. And just for academic reasons, the only reason why we even know this gentleman. And so, he had a short stint with the Rams. And he's making an impact on so many young kids this day and age. So I'm extremely proud of the man he's become. And just the nugget I took from him, man, um, was he was talking about training one of the kids he trained, and he was getting ready to run a full lap for time, and it was a oversized kid, and the kid was like, I can't run no full lap because he's you stand back and you look at that big old track, and he's
Speed.
like, and he told him, don't look at the whole track, just break it down, right? Just break it down, just a little bit at a time. Just look 25 meters ahead of you, then 25 meters. And that just kind of leads me to, just, so many times we set these goals and aspirations for ourselves and we want it done right now. Just win the day. Focus on the process. Win today. Get better today. You know, and if you get better every day, and just small victories will lead to monumental success. And I think as
Absolutely.
long as we do that, man, just win today. Get up. You know, whether just make it something I'm working on now. Just make your bed first of all. That's a win.
That's a win.
You know,
The wins.
read a few pages. That's a win.
Win.
Right? Drink your water. That's a win.
It's a
I got
win.
another win. I went to go work out. I know you was
That's a
getting it this
win.
morning.
Yes, sir.
That's a win. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel better about yourself. You're gonna
Yeah.
feel better about yourself. And
But you
now
know
you
what's
whatever you
crazy?
hmm
I'm gonna throw in. I apologize, but that's
No, you
discipline.
good. I'm good.
Because
Yeah.
if you gonna let yourself go to waste, you gonna around here
Yeah.
looking like 10 pounds of shit in a 5 pound bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just think about it. And so I know people they've said it. If you don't work out, you're undisciplined. If you're not
Yeah.
taking care of
Accountability.
yourself, you're undisciplined. You're not accountable. You're making no man. I know everybody can say, "Well, man, y'all just don't know." Hey, if you can wake up, if you got the energy to walk, walk.
hmm
So I totally agree with you on that, Doc.
Yeah. No, yeah. You hear so many people, and I'll get off that because I don't want to hear again. Some people get offended. They're like, "Oh, life happens." I had this. I think and this is down the road. We got some stuff cooking. We'll get into more of this type of stuff. But I just think, I've been talking about this lately. People get so obsessed with their kids and making their kids their life. I got to do this. No, you're number one. Because guess what? If I don't take care of me and I
Can't
don't
take care of
continue to
them.
grow, how am I going to take care of them and show them
Right.
as an example? You see what
Right.
I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
I think it's the same. It's the same thing with relationships. One of the biggest reasons why a lot of marriages fail. I don't want to get off topic, but people direct all the energy to the kids and stop loving on each other. And then once the kid go to summer school or grow up, they looking at each
And
other.
then
Hey, I don't know what to
communicate.
do.
I know what
You
to
ain't
do.
touched her. You ain't touched her in 2 years. You know what I
This is
mean?
true.
I almost said something else. You ain't. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it PG on this tonight. But
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Sometimes it's
yeah,
like that though, man. I mean, it's
yeah, yeah.
it, yeah. I agree though, man. With Steve, you know how I feel about Steve, man.
Yep.
I love that guy, bro. Just like you, like I
Mhm,
said, and I'll for whoever sees this, he's
mhm.
in my top 5 of all time. I don't
Yep.
care what nobody says, but one of the things that stuck out for me with Steve is he said, "I just wish I would have took it more serious."
Mhm,
And
mhm,
man, just think, Scott, being from your neighborhood, being how many people you knew that were so talented,
mhm,
and they may have been talented in high school, didn't go to college,
mhm,
or they may have been
mhm,
talented in college, didn't go to pros. Got to the pros and just kind of fizzled out. But just
mhm,
imagine some of the guys we've seen talent
mhm,
wise, if they just would have
mhm,
worked a little bit harder or took it just
mhm,
a little bit more serious. Now, as far as Steve and his football,
mhm.
I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Yeah.
His thing came from the academia side of it. He said, "Man, I just wish I would have took it, more seriously."
Mhm,
And what I appreciate even more about him, he said, I was depressed. I was away from home. I was a long way from home. He was like, I ain't have no family. And when you have what I've learned, and when you have big families, close knit families, that can take a toll on a person. And
mhm,
just for him to be like, man, I wish I would have took it more seriously because now I wouldn't have to work so hard to be where I'm
mhm,
at. And another
mhm.
thing he spoke about was his transition out of the game. He said it almost took him 7 years.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
understand? Like
Mhm,
that to me was like it was so important because once again, you never know where someone is at. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? But that's when we speak
Yep.
about, hey, pick up that phone, call me, man. Hey, I don't care if you got to, man, something on my mind, just call. So it's one of those things where he was just like going home wasn't an option. Being, down in Louisiana wasn't an option. Then, when he went, to the next level, I don't think he got a fair shake at it
Mm-mm.
because, he went to camp with the Rams, you know, and I don't really think they understood the player that they had on their roster, if I'm just being
Yeah. Oh,
honest.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
because but like you stated, win the day, taking things more seriously. and not making excuses and being accountable. That's
Yeah.
what I took from Steve, man. And for me, just knowing him as a player, knowing him as a brother, man. I'm just so proud of him where he's at right now, the things that he's doing in the community, things he's doing for the kids, for the coaching, the athletic training, and also I think he has an online clothing store as well. So stuff
Yep.
like
Yep.
that, man.
Yep.
Kudos to my man
Mm-hmm.
Steve, Steve
Yep.
Walker, man. So
Yep.
uh, who we got next, my man?
Man, just the last one, man, and then we're gonna wrap it up, man.
All right.
Is man the great, not many people can say they had a national champion, and he won the first national championship for Florida State University,
Jordan ACC,
a black quarterback at that, right?
the best in
Won
the
the
country.
won the Heisman,
Yeah.
led his team to the NCAA tournament in basketball.
Yes.
So yeah, man, it's the great Charlie Ward. I mean, I think the thing I take from it is just, you look at his situation, he believed in him, right? He he didn't get drafted in the NFL because he didn't want to leave his teammates high and dry, because in his heart, he believed he should go out there on the basketball court and lead his teammates. And he didn't let money dictate, or the glam and the glitz and glamour of the NFL dictate what he did. And that just shows his character. And he believed in him. He bet on himself, right? So yeah, Charlie Ward, man, it was just that was a treat to be able to sit down with him and have that conversation. Uh, yeah, that's one I definitely won't forget, for sure. Appreciate you making that happen.
Man, we made that happen, man. And for those who don't know, one thing I love about our podcast is the people thus far that we've had on. These are personal relationships. So this is not someone we, meeting on the street or, hey, man, can you X, Y, and Z? These are personal relationships. But with Charlie, as Scott said, I was like a kid in the candy store. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh my goodness, we got Charlie coming on the show. But what Charlie was to me is what many, modern day players, whether it be a Jalen Hurt, is to the younger generation nowadays. That's what Charlie Ward was to me. Like I said, he was my muse. Like, I'm sorry, just everything about him, man. His temperament, being cool. But one thing, as you say, this guy, it was just he trusted and he was willing to take the consequences. That's what I appreciate. He said, whatever choice that you make, consequences come with it. And I'm willing to take the consequences. So once again, the maturity, the accountability, and when you make it, you stand on it. A lot of these young kids, like, oh, you got to stand on business. He stood on business. For
He's still
those who
on
don't know
business.
his resume, he's as Scott said, the Heisman Trophy winner, national champ. He's the best in the country in his position, and he doesn't get drafted. Once he realizes the football is not going to be my route, hey, I'm going to take this basketball and I'm going to prepare myself. And then, for those who don't know, 11-year career in the NBA.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah.
like he
Yep.
betted on him, and he didn't
He-
waver. He was willing to live with the consequences. And I think when you are mature enough to understand that, and it's no fault to anybody, and you're able to look in that mirror and say, you know what, this is on me. Hey, man,
mhm.
that's powerful. I feel that's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Like to be in his presence, man. I
I
was
know.
starstruck. Yeah. Yeah. I was
I
starstruck.
was starstruck. I was just trying to be cool. I
Yeah.
was in there like, but I'm just like mesmerized. And I
Yeah.
gotta bring this up when he talked about your shirt and your biceps, bro.
Oh.
That's a forever moment.
Oh, I
That's a
know. He caught me off guard. He caught me off guard with that. Yeah, yeah. Those are the type of things that makes me want to continue to work out. you know, yeah.
No,
But
that's
yeah,
worth it, man. That's
yeah,
worth it,
no.
man.
Yeah, no, it was
That's
it
what
was
it's
like I
about.
said, man. He bet on himself, and it was just such an unusual story. Here again, to collect the accolades he did in college, and then not get drafted, and then go play, have an 11-year NBA career, right? That'll never happen again. Period. That's not
Well,
happening.
I
I don't
would
think
say
so.
this. Well, the closest person to that, and many people don't know this, is Nate Robinson.
Hmm. Oh, the one
Remember
got
Nate
the box.
Robinson?
The one got beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. They got dropped.
But Nate was a corner in college and
I didn't
could
know that.
and
Okay,
went. Yeah, he played corner. He was a highly. I mean, he could play. He
he
could
looked like a
play.
football player. Actually, he's
Yes.
built like a
And
football
so
player.
he didn't play football. He gets drafted.
Hmm.
Played the NBA for many years and won the dunk
Yeah.
contest. So he's the
Oh.
only person. Yeah, he won the dunk contest. He's the only person that I've seen. It's been other football players like Julius Peppers, but he stayed with,
Hmm. Hmm.
football. But it's been other guys that I know that's played football and went over to basketball.
Hmm.
But yeah, Nate wasn't bad, but Charlie, man,
Yeah.
like I said, I just his poise, his the way he got out of the pocket. Um, I thought he was just smooth dude, man. Just cool,
Hmm.
calm, collective,
Hmm.
doing what he does.
Hmm.
And like you
Hmm.
said, just from Charlie,
Hmm.
I also get, you know, just like you said, just the belief. And, just
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
don't care what you say. I don't care what you say about me. I'm gonna do it this particular way. And it's
Hmm.
if I'm being honest, everything from all our guests have kind of been on that same alignment.
You got to believe in yourself.
You gotta believe in
If,
yourself.
if that's one thing I can tell, if a young athlete say, what kind of advice would you give me, man? You got to believe in yourself. When you walk out there, you gotta know, and you gotta know you're the best. And but you got to put in the work to
You gotta
validate that.
prepare, brother.
Because
You
when you
gotta
when you when
prepare
you when,
for it.
when you prepared,
Yes,
you're gonna
sir.
feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
gonna
So
you
it
gonna
all
walk
it,
a
it
certain
all
way.
it all intertwines.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Yes, yeah. When you prepared, it's like they say, when preparation meets opportunity, that's what equals success.
absolutely,
And
man.
if you stay prepared, because opportunity gonna come. And
Yeah,
it's funny because a lot of the stuff we're talking about, one of our guests that we had Moshtet talked about that,
absolutely.
being about
Being
being
prepared.
prepared, being
Yeah,
prepared, and
being
that's
prepared.
you got to be prepared, man. And no, man, it's been awesome to reflect and kind of recap on how far we've come in such a short period of time. Again, I want to thank you, man, for just being a great friend, a great brother, a great host, and I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. That's why when I picked up the phone, you were the guy who I called,
Hey,
and
man,
I
don't
and
make me
I
cry
was
now.
yeah.
I get emotional, Scott. Don't make me cry now. Get emotional now.
I
Take it
know.
easy, brother.
Hey, I know. It's funny how we used to be tough. Now I'll be yeah. Sometimes
Hey,
I'm watching
hey,
certain
bro.
movies. I'm
I
just
don't listen. I don't want to be tough unless I gotta be tough. Other than that,
it's
yeah, I'm gonna get emotional, cry at movies. I'm too old
yeah.
and past all that foolishness, man. But I wanna,
Yeah.
say the same thing, man. It's been these last couple of shows. Like I said, we've shot 10 total, I think.
Yeah.
Some are still coming, but like you said, man, I couldn't imagine doing with someone else.
Mhm.
Um, it's been funny because we both talk off camera, and like you said, I didn't realize I would enjoy it this much. I love it.
No.
I
Hmm.
absolutely love it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
therapy. It's therapeutic. I get to see my friend every week, if not, talk to you a couple of times a week. And just for me, man, it's my major. I majored in communications and education. So the whole time
Hmm.
I've been out of college, I've never used this. So this is like
Hmm.
this is what
Yeah.
I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it's something near and dear to my heart, and I get to do it like you say with a great person, man, great co-host, brother. And I'm not saying that for those who don't know us, but that's just how we are, man. And it's one of those things that wherever this takes us, this I've built a memory and I've built some time with someone that I love and appreciate everything that we're doing, and hopefully no matter how many shows, no matter what we do, man, like this is something that I'll cherish because I know it was genuine. We had two
Mhm.
great people doing it, and it was nothing, you know, falsifying what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we're presenting it, and I appreciate that.
Definitely, definitely, man. Likewise, brother. Man, another episode down. Dreams Podcast. Hey, man, go like and subscribe. You know, and I think before we wrap it up, you know, we want to just thank our supporters.
Absolutely.
You know, we're pushing up on, you know, close to over, you know, 250 subscribers. Obviously, I know you got some people out there with millions, and you know, for us, you know,
Yeah.
just getting started, we appreciate it for every one of you guys. You know, the views. Um, Not to put you on the spot, I don't know if you're familiar roughly how many views.
It's over 4,000. So
Yeah,
thank you guys for putting your eyes on it. You know,
yeah,
whether you're
yeah.
looking at it for long, whether you're there for a short, thank you for
Hmm.
support. Thank you, as Scott
Yeah,
said, thank you. Absolutely.
yeah. And if you like the content we're putting out, share it with your friends, right?
Yes.
You never know who it may help, you know, who it may save. Because we're bringing on some powerful guests, some people who've done things at a high level. We're talking the best of the best, and they have experienced things that the normal individuals haven't had a chance to experience. And just it's just, hey man, I'm just excited for the ride. Uh, but yeah, man, I'll let you bring us home and wrap this one up, man.
Man, I like you said, Scott, this is another episode of Dreams Podcast. You know, man, first off, I want to thank you, you know, for taking this journey with me. Like you said, we want to thank our guest, Emmanuel Arsenault. We want to thank, you know, Nick Harris. We want to thank Charlie Ward. We want to thank Steve Wofford. We want to thank um, Steve, other guests I can't quite name yet, but I just want to thank
Yeah.
you all for those who are watching and continue to watch and continue to be supportive and continue to um, give us an opportunity. If something helps you, please let us know. If it's something that you want to see, please let us know. But all we're trying to do is continue, you know, our path. Don't get sidetracked by anything. Dreams Podcast, discipline, respect, education, accountability, maturation, and success. Just want to thank everybody for joining us, and that's all I got, man. So, Scott, any words for you?
Hey, um, I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited for the growth. Uh, I'm excited for, you know, the guests we've had on, and I'm excited for the guests that we will, um, you know, will have coming. And I think that's the biggest surprise. And we've talked about this off camera. You know, we surprise ourselves the relationships we've built. And I think that's the testament, and not to pat ourselves on the back or anything, the testament of the type of people we are. I think the one thing people can say anything about us, but they can't say we're not genuine people, right? And I
Yes,
think,
sir.
and it shows with the quality of guests that we have on. Because
Absolutely,
right, that to be able to get a Charlie Ward, right, to be able to get a Nick Harris, Steve
absolutely.
Wofford, Emmanuel Arsenault, you know, to be able to get these guys and some of the we got some big fish coming. You have to have respect, and I think that's one thing we demand when we walk in the room. And and I think, like they always say, real recognize real. So with that being said, another episode of Dreams Podcast. We're signing off.
Appreciate you.
Bye.